This is Talking My Walking. I am Rodrigo Ribeiro, just another voice in the wilderness. Today I'm going to talk about why we need to um, not understand, to think, feel, and act on the principle, on an operating system where everything, is part of a process, is part of a system or a system of systems, and it's always in a relation with something else. So there is always this interdependency, and um, this is how whatever we want to understand ourselves, society, nature, culture, everything that we need to use this frame. You need to build a language framing, a narrative, an ideological system that allows you that consciously you do it like that. For example, I come. This is my morning walks, and it's the weather. If it's sun, if it's, I have to adapt. So there is this need to that the external factors do influence my behavior, do influence my feelings, my emotions, and the way, and my thoughts, and my actions for sure. So, which means my whole being is affected by the environmental factors. Not only those that are the expression of natural processes, like from the um, the Earth systems, which the hydrosphere, the atmosphere, the geosphere, the biosphere, whatever. But those that are built, for example, while I come from my home until I I get into this little patch of wilderness. Not really wilderness, but at least there is not much things here that are that disturb my attention to stuff built by people, or at least I try to avoid it in order to concentrate in something else. But I walk my neighbors. I think of my neighbors. Okay, they are my neighbors. So in my mind, when I see the picture of the house, of the garden, I know he has animals. I think about all these things. I don't need to think about it. We just do, unless our minds are somewhere else. But nonetheless, we are conscious. Subconsciously, we are conscious where we are. And I come to orchards, peach and pears orchards, and I know what is doing, what's going on there, how things are produced. So my mind is carried. So everything affects us. We need to have. We are always in a relation. That's my point. When you think about individualism and about the pursuit of self-interest, and as if we as if our decisions and our choices are made in the absence of an environment, in the absence of a context, of a sociocultural context, a historical context, a geographic, atmosphere. I mean, all the parameters, geomorphological context. I mean, everything. The season, if it's cold, it's hot, it changes. How you behave, how you do things, it changes even your needs. So when I come to this now is spring. So this is to be just to show how we are permanently in a process of interacting or being disturbed or being affected by the environment, which this environment has elements, as social elements, as individual elements, which is your experience, which is what I said, that you enable all the relations that you have that are particular to you, but also the other experiences that we have. So this is so when I come here and I start to walk in these pathways, these little I don't know what is that. This little, I don't know what to call it. Okay. And now it's spring, and spring means that flowers, the new leaves, new flowers, things are changing every day. And while I walk, I think about this in as a relation. I don't care. I mean, there are people that are focused in the beauty, in the in the complexity, in the architectural complexity of flowers, of which is beautiful, aesthetically is appealing. It's all of that. Okay, I understand it. I like it, but to me there is no difference between a very simple flower or a very rustic bush or tree that is resilient in this environment, which is harsh, very cold during the winter, very hot and dry during the summer, very rocky, poor soil, very low humidity during the summer, and they are resilient. And that's the beauty. The beauty is not because they are gorgeous, but because they are alive. I see the relation. I mean, I establish a relation because every day I'm aware. This is why it's very important to be always conscious of. You are conscious of your consciousness. That you are in a you don't. You see the trees. You see these changes, these daily changes, and it is a relation. It's not just something. You don't have an object in front of you, and you just you pass by, you see it. That's why. I mean, we cannot never compare. Okay, the most beautiful paintings. They can be they might be amazing in terms of technique and imagination and creativity and beauty. But they are dead. Don't try to call they are alive, because they are not. They are dead. They are they are two-dimensional objects. And that's exactly the opposite. When you look to something that is alive and is in a context, is in an interrelation and process of interdependency with other elements, just like us. Who are us? Aren't we in a relation with every element? Don't we need air to live, oxygen to live? So we are part of the atmosphere. Don't we need water? Yes, so we are part of the hydrosphere. We are it. We are not, it's just not about the resource that we need to survive. We are in a relationship with that, with the streams, with the rain, with everything else. It's the same with the geosphere. Aren't we? Don't we need the minerals? Or are not our body, our cells don't need the minerals like we need the the sunlight and everything else? So all these, the biosphere, the ecosystem, all these, if we, as many people do, they go for a walk. This only it's so technical these days. You people care about what kind of shoes they walk with, the clothing. It has to be this and that. So it's very technical, and then you have to walk a certain number of steps, and you might be listening to a podcast that you are not even aware. You don't even listen to the breeze, to the birds singing, to whatever it is. You are just focused. There are so many people that focus on the walking as part of healthy lifestyle or something like that. So we lose this connection. We might like to walk in a place where is nature. It's pleasant. You don't have the noise of the city. Eventually, that's why I don't like to walk in parks and in city gardens. It's not pleasant. They are beautiful, but they are not pleasant. That's the difference. You don't feel in connection. I mean, you can feel it, but you see the artificiality. It's something manufactured. There is no. It's nothing genuine about it. It's not a genuine experience. That's not. And I mean, why does this matter? Because if it matters, I tell you why. Because in terms of understanding the nature of the human condition, and I see so much bullshit. Yes, supposedly science-based knowledge and theories and hypotheses and this and that try to explain why do we behave like this, why do we have a society that is organizing like this, why they always trying, by the way, not to explain. That's the point. Most of these theories are made up to justify a dysfunctional system that has nothing to do with the true nature of a socio-cultural species as we are. And nonetheless, there are always elements in those theories. There are always variables that are not fake, but they are distorted, intentionally or not. So that's not the point. The point now that for whatever I'm doing, the point is that if we are not conscious of this relation, if it is not part of a conscious process, we just become tools you know. Um, um, it because when we are exercising our what is described as the pursuit of self-interest, we are being a tool, because this is not natural. It needs to be justified, you know. It's not natural. But we can believe and make up a story, or make up several narratives or layers of narratives to justify it, and to make us um, and to uh, go on with our lives, all our lives, um, by within these boundaries, with these limitations of perception, limitations of our own selves, of who we are as human beings, and with this particular characteristic of being a social system, which is not very special, many species are, but with this cultural, and culture, as you know, is about creating a system, that the system through which we communicate with each other, but also the environment where we live, that gives meaning and purpose, that is responsible for how we perceive ourselves and how we behave and how we relate to each other. And this is very crucial to understand. And if we do not come to grips with this, that we do not perceive ourselves, we perceive ourselves as social beings, where if the pursuit of self-interest, if we want it to be part of it, it has to be part of it in the context of the collective well-being. Because otherwise we create a system where we are mere tools. We are nothing else but tools. And tools are tools. Which means that somebody else is using us, is exploiting us. And it's so important to us. Freedom is so important. Liberty. Democracy may be important for some, maybe not for all. It depends on what we. Of course, everyone knows what democracy means. Demos, krasia, okay? Demos, people. Krasia, Polish. Poder, sorry. Power. I think. I'm not sure anymore right now. Okay, anyway. So if democracy is the power of the people, do you think you, like me, have power? No, we are powerless. And why are we powerless? Because the pursuit of self-interest makes us powerless. Most of us, while some of us will succeed to climb the socioeconomic, which is also the power ladder, whatever, the rest of us, or most of us, will be kept below the line that divides the powerless people and the ones with power. And of course, the higher you climb the pyramid scheme, the concentration, the more concentrated is the power. So the very thing that we are supposed to praise, and we operate according to these principles of being disconnected from anything, as if we are not in a relation. The only way I appreciate the trees and the plants and the process and the systems where I walk. There's a combination of systems, and I see the plants, the changes, the daily changes, and I appreciate it. And it is a relation. I understand it as a relation between me and them, a process of interdependency. My life is their life. Yes, I don't destroy them just because I am bored or I don't have anything to do. How can people just do it, and then you destroy because you are bored, and you destroy because you need money, and you want money, and you are always bored and dissatisfied, and you need new things, and you need to go to new places, and you do not appreciate what is next to you. Most of us go to nature and see nothing. There's nothing here that stimulates you. You are not curious, not only intellectually, but in this relationship. You are not curious in establishing this relationship, to understand the interdependency, to feel it deeply, to be conscious of it. When I'm talking about feeling, I'm talking about consciously. That you know what you are feeling, and you know why you are feeling it. So that's you know this 9:30 or something in the morning, because the hour has changed, and I just feel this warmth. This is so nice. What else do I need? To put myself together, to feel part of what we need to feel part. Not to be obsessed in how others perceive me. Again, we are social beings. We want to be part. We need to be part. But we cannot be allowed to be abused, to feel bad about you because you don't have, or you don't want, or you don't care about what others think is essential, which is not most of the time. It's just mindless consumerism. And by consumerism, I'm not always only talking about buying stuff. It's about using stuff. Consuming stuff in the sense that there is always things that require money in order that you want to enjoy. Even to pee these days, in so many places, you have to pay. Old people or people growing old like me, many men, and I have pills. I need pills for the high blood pressure, hypertension, and in the morning, of course, I need to pee. Sometimes I need to pee you know, in half an hour, 1 hour, I need to pee. So you are in a city. I have been in places where it's horrible. You know, you don't have a place where you can pee unless you have to go to a coffee shop or something. I mean, this is just a detail. How dehumanized, how our cities are dehumanized in order to be the commodification. The more, get this point. The more commodified and the more addicted to convenience, the more commodified is a society and a socioeconomic system, and the more addicted and dependent on convenience we are, the more enslaved we are. We are not free. That's not about freedom. That's about extractivism. That's about robbing us of the freedom of enjoying life. If you, for a glass of water or to pee, need to pay, and we are not able to perceive this as an absurdity, as an obscenity, because there is that principle called the payer user, or the user payer, or whatever you call it, that if you use, you have to pay. There is a logic in that, but the problem is that logic is to justify a system of expropriation, a system of exploitation, of rentierism and parasitism. Because in the end, that's why we cannot look anything in a relationship with it. We only see if we look and do I gain something in approach, or should I not care at all? This is a dehumanizing process. This is a process that cuts us from understanding that we are in a relationship with everything, and a relationship of interdependence and reciprocity, not division, not humiliation, not destruction, not domination. Do we need to dominate nature or other people? Do you need to dominate people? Most of us do not want that. So most of us don't want. We might. The thing is, our culture it makes us all insane. Not only our culture. I always emphasize this, because this is a problem where these two things go together: the socio-economic political system and the socio-cultural system. These are intertwined. They reinforce each other. To make us servants, to make us voluntary servants, obedient servants to a class, organized in a class system, where in the end everything is accumulated at the top, at the cost of everything else. And we just become destructive machines, not because we are. Never believe those that try to say that we are this, we are that, we are very competitive beings. We are not. We are competitive, but the basis of we are competitive. It is true. There are biological traits. We can go to the behavioral sciences and biology to explain a lot, but do not make it drivers, because sociocultural drivers, environment, as shapes more who you are than your than your biological condition. Because human beings cannot explain anything, cannot understand anything, who we are, why do we do what we do, why we behave the way we behave, without a socio-cultural environment, and without a socioeconomic environment and political environment, which are manufactured environments and can be shaped and designed in many forms. They can be based on a culture of true liberation and reciprocity and cooperation, or hyper-competitiveness of this zero-sum game, this battle between winners and losers, a very small amount. Never forget, if the system is winners and losers, okay, I'm the winner, you are the loser. So the losers and the winners should be half-half. Have you ever thought about that? Why are the winners such a minuscule number compared to the rest of us? So we are all losers and stupid and assholes. No, we are not assholes. We are victims of what I call, and this is a theory that people should explore. We are victims because the minority